What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the Not So Pro Football Talk. My name is AJ. It is Monday. It is 6 o'clock. We got another show here for you guys. We got a packed house today. We're joined by, yet again, Israel Torres. And first-time guest on the show, we got the PI Podcast. Say what's up, you guys.
What's up?
Yo.
Dude, that's what's up. Hey, tell us a little about yourselves. Tell us about the PI Podcast. Tell us what you're all about. What do you guys have to put on the table for us?
Yeah, so just a couple of guys, we really love the NFL, and one day we just decided, hey, we should make a podcast about this. We should talk everything NFL because we love the sport so much, and we love everything about football. So we just came up, decided to make a podcast, get everything ready. We just went live and recorded some videos, and now we're just here talking about football every week.
Nice.
Awesome. That's basically what we did here. You know, we just a group of friends that love to talk about football. We just decided, hey, you know what? Maybe other people want to hear us. Maybe other people want to talk trash about what we have to say about football. And we just did it, and we love it. Here we are now. If you guys haven't had a chance or haven't done so yet, go check out PI Podcasts. They're awesome. They're everywhere, man. They're on YouTube. I know they're trying to reach a goal. They get 100 subscribers, kind of like how we did. Once they hit 100 subscribers, we're going to do a huge giveaway. I know I'm going to answer that. So hopefully you guys are too. So go find them, subscribe to them, and let's get that giveaway, man. I like free stuff. You guys like free stuff?
Yeah, everybody likes
Definitely.
You know who else likes free stuff? The Detroit Lions. They love free stuff. They got someone like Aiden Hutchinson. If I'm the Detroit Lions right now, I'm baking cookies, okay? Because I'm getting ready to send a little nice gift basket to the Jacksonville Jaguars saying, hey, man, thank you so much for the first overall draft pick. Now I have Aiden Hutchinson. You guys just screwed up again, and we're going to have one heck of a season with this young stud. He's going to go out there. He's going to be a little TJ Watt, little Nick Bosa. He's going to cause havoc on whatever offense we are playing up against. If you guys don't know, Ian from PI Podcast, that's his team. That's the Jacksonville Jaguars. Ian, give us your point of view there. How did you feel when the Jacksonville Jaguars took Trayvon Walker over Aiden Hutchinson?
Okay, so I was pissed. I was flat out pissed. You had the best college prospect in your lap. I mean, and here's the other thing. You risked the number 1 overall pick already in the season when you beat the Colts, but then the Lions won, so you kept it, and you still got the 2nd overall pick.
Hey, what's going on, Nestor? Thank you so much for joining the podcast live. Appreciate you being here. This guy is always here every Monday, 6 o'clock sharp. This could basically be his job. Appreciate you, man. Check out this PI podcast that we have here as guests. As you know Israel. Welcome back to the show, Israel. Glad you're here, dude. How do you feel about the Cowboys draft this year?
Feel good. I feel like we actually had a pretty good grade, but other people think otherwise. So, let's just see what happens this season.
Oh, okay. That sounds familiar. I feel like I just heard that just recently. It's so weird. But just good. If you're not psyched out of your mind about, what happened in the draft, then obviously there's something in there that you didn't really like. I don't know. Maybe were you hoping for a trade? Huh? Were you trying to get?
Yes, I was. I was hoping because they were taking their time, man. I really wanted Devo. The guy right there. I was waiting. I'm like, oh, man, they didn't get him.
Told everyone since day one. Reed still thinks that Devo's moving. I told everyone since day one, Devo is staying. Calm down. It's cool. No house is on fire. Niners don't leak. He's good, man. We're good out here.
Okay.
Go ahead, Reed. Just say your piece.
I don't know, man. I just think there's something deeper there. Odell Beckham tweeted out, I have it right here. Devo news going to break on its own. I think Deebo told him exactly what happened. I think it's a lot deeper than Deebo just wanting out. I think something happened between him and the front office, something that's unrepairable in Deebo's eyes. They disrespected him a certain way. Something happened. I think that there's things we don't know about that's eventually going to break soon. Probably here between the season starting. Do I think he's going to get traded? I don't know. we'll see what actually happens. But I think there's a really broken relationship there.
OBJ, the guy who's been on 3 teams already in his career, that guy just wants to spill the tea. Debo already went out and tweeted, "Hey, dude, chill, man." He's like, "What? I just want to cause
And
a
he's
stir."
also saying he's really bored.
Yeah, he's also really bored because his plans did not work. I told you guys the Niners will pay their players when they want to pay their players, not when the players want to get paid. It always happens, just like George Kittle, just like Fred Warner. They're going to wait to pay Debo. It's coming. Just wait. Be patient. They're going to give you what you want. Debo just, his manager is screwing everyone. Well, I guess I gotta say everyone because AJ Brown got paid.
I don't know.
He got
I
paid
think at this
pretty good.
point, Debo's not going to get paid by the Niners.
Okay.
He would have got it. He would have gotten paid by the Jets, but that's
can you believe that BS? So it came out that the Jets offered the Niners the 10th overall pick. That's all right, I guess. And then a fifth round pick for Debo and what was it? And they wanted something else. The second round pick. Yeah, they wanted our Debo and the second round pick of the Niners, and they're offering the 10th overall and the 5th round. Like,
It's not
yuck.
It's not that bad of a trade, honestly.
I vomited in my mouth. I was disgusted.
It's not that bad.
Yeah,
The 10th
that's
overall
probably
is what
better.
they want.
That's probably better than the.
I mean, the 40.
AJ.
It's probably better than what?
Than the trade that you wanted for DK when you were the Washington Commanders as their GM. When we did that video, you remember that?
No.
Way better.
No. I was offering our first round draft pick and Montez Sweat. Dude, how do you not take that trade? You didn't even hear me out. Guys, PI podcast, would you take that trade if you're the Niners front office right now? You're Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. Are y'all taking that trade?
If that's kind of tough, but if you really think Debo's not willing to stay, then you got to.
Yeah, and if they knew Debo wasn't going to trade, that's actually a decent pick for them to have, the number 10 overall pick, because you can go out and get a receiver, definitely not at caliber as Debo, because Debo can run the ball, he can catch the ball. He's like Cordero Patterson in a sense, because they're both really good catchers, and they can run the ball as well. So that would have been interesting to see, and they could have got even a defensive piece, another defensive piece for that stacked 49ers defense.
I like that comparison. Cordero Patterson. I never compared Debo to Cordero Patterson. You always forget that he used to be a wide receiver before. So that's a really nice comparison. I like that. But you guys got to remember, everyone's still talking about, Debo doesn't want to be a wide back. He created the position, the wide back. He announced it in the Pro Bowl. He went up to Kyle Shanahan during the Cowboys game, during the Packers game as well, and said, "Hey, give me the ball. Put the ball in my hands." And that's exactly what they did. Now he doesn't want to. Not happening. Okay. I think nothing has been shared with us. I don't think anything that's been released is I don't want to say true or false, but there's a lot more. I think it's just a front that he to get paid, and it just backfired because that's not how the Niners work. But honestly, I wouldn't have wanted the 10th overall pick because my top prospect in the wide receiver position got picked at 8, and that was with the Atlanta Falcons. That is your team over there. They got Drake London. And I really like that receiver. That guy is a beast. He's a monster. He's kind of like a shade smaller than DK Metcalf, in my opinion. I think that guy's an absolute beast. How do you feel about that pick? Do you think Marcus Mariota will be able to give him the ball, or is this just going to be a tight end game? I drew a blank right there. Kyle Pitts game like how it was last year.
I honestly think at first, I was a little disappointed with the pick because Jermaine Johnson was there and he's a really good edge rusher. But I think we were waiting for Kayvon Thibodeau to fall, and the point that he didn't is that why we went with Drake London. But also Drake London's a physical beast. Like, he can go contested catch. He's 6'5", and he can do everything Kyle Pitts can with contested catches. And it just brings like a basketball kind of style offense to where Marcus Mariota doesn't have to be the most accurate quarterback either. He can literally just throw it up, and those receivers for him will catch it. I do really like Drake London. I was looking at some of his film as well, and he's such a physical beast. Like he literally get off the press, and he has some speed to him. It's definitely going to be interesting. Marcus Mariota, I think he can be viable enough to lead us this season and to let Desmond Ritter sit.
For sure,
like
for
that.
sure. Yeah. I think they compared him to like a Chris Evans or like a Julio Jones when they were talking in the draft, if I remember correctly. But I agree with you. I think London's pretty good. He probably will have to put on a little bit more mass, in my opinion. But especially when you come up to the NFL and you face these guys who have been here before, and they're the best of the best, or almost all the time they're best of the best. But yeah, I think it was a good pick. At first, I was a little dumbfounded too because it's not my team, but I was like, wow, I was like, that's kind of early for the first wide receiver, and I didn't think they were going to take him at that position. But I mean, once you look at it, once you look at the play style that the Falcons had before when they had that championship run, they always had a big receiver in there to catch anything in the end zone, off the sideline, So I think he can be that guy for y'all.
Jeez, man, imagine if Calvin really was going to play this year.
I know.
That's a sensitive subject.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, that's why I said it. I wanted to push some buttons here. But let's move on. Okay, you guys, we've done this once before in the podcast. I want to count to 3. Now, me, in my personal eyes, I think there's a clear winner to this draft. I want to hear everyone's, everyone's thought who they think they won the draft, what team. Okay, so when I count to 3, I want everyone to announce their team. All right. Okay, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then boom. Everyone ready?
Yep.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
The Jets.
The
The Jets.
What just happened? Okay, I thought this was a clear answer. I heard 1, 2, 3 Jets, right? Or did I hear more?
There's a few Jets.
There's a few Jets. I know it's me,
Jets,
Israel,
yeah.
Vince.
I know I did Jets as well. Yeah.
Oh, I said Ravens, bro. I didn't say Jets.
You said Ravens?
Yeah.
I said Chiefs.
I heard the Chiefs in there.
Are good too, yeah.
Oh my gosh. For me, I think it's Jets. I mean, for the first time ever, the Niners did not move in this draft. But Robert Saleh, being that defensive-minded guy that he is, he was very physical in this draft. I'm going to say, just because he knew what he wanted. He went out there. He got it, dude. He needed to address, 3 major positions, which is the cornerback, the wide receiver position, and defensive edge. And what did he do? He pretty much got the best of the best of each of those positions, man. I mean, it was awesome what they did. I think the New York Jets are going to be a completely different team, a completely young team. As long as they take care of those guys and not be like the Las Vegas Raiders and release all their first rounds. But it's going to be awesome. I think the Jets did a great job in this draft. So hopefully that does translate into the NFL season, and the Giants will be the only New York team that is just irrelevant in the NFL. I heard Chiefs. Why do you think the Chiefs won this draft, Ian?
So my big thing with the Chiefs, their offensive approach worked a couple years ago to win them the Super Bowl, but their defense has just failed them. And I really like that they went after 2 defensive players to bolster up the defense, because the offense is good enough. It's always been good enough, and especially with Andy Reid. But now they've got some really good defensive pieces. They picked up a corner. They picked up a who else did they pick up? They picked up like an edge, right? Or a linebacker.
Yeah, Karlaftis is the guy in.
Yeah, so I really like it because, like I said, defense wins championships.
Okay, I like it. Now, explain yourself, Vince. The Baltimore Ravens, dude.
Explain myself.
Oh,
now, here's the thing. Okay, I will give what's his name, Robert Saleh.
Saleh, dude.
Hey, dog, I can't ever get it. I don't know if it's up here or if it's right here. It's never gonna let me.
Well, can I do a pause real quick? Can I do a pause? Juan Antonio Bravo, thank you so much for being here live. I'm very disappointed in you, man. It's been so long since I've seen you. Welcome back. He says Jets and Lions got amazing picks. Yes, like I said, Jets are making their gift basket right now to send to Jacksonville. But yes, they had awesome picks. But Juan, we missed you, man. Welcome back. Welcome back with open arms. This is PI Podcast. They're doing a giveaway once they hit 100 subscribers. So remember that. Go find their channel. What, Vince? Sorry.
All right. But the thing that the Jets did really good is they did trade into a lot of their picks to get the guys that they wanted. And after day 1, they had won the draft. They won day 1 for sure, right?
Mhm.
So that's the thing that everybody knows. But here was the Ravens. The Ravens were a sneaky team. They've been collecting draft pick after draft pick after draft pick. And of course, I think they sent off Hollywood Brown for a pick and all that stuff. But that's someone that they could lose because they already have talent in Lamar Jackson, and they were gaining talent by getting those draft picks. They went after a safety, a center, an edge, a defensive lineman, a tackle, a cornerback, a tight end, a punter, another tight end, another cornerback. As you can see, they had like the most picks, almost rivaling the Texans. But the thing that they did is they targeted every need they had, and then they got more. So they did leave Hollywood Brown and to go to the Cardinals, which I hate. And I'm pretty sure you hate it too, AJ. That's our division. But
Yeah.
And you hate the Ravens as well. So I know this is why you hate this pick so much. But they just hit everything on the dot. They didn't have to trade up. They didn't have to trade, or they actually did trade back. So that's how they got more picks. But they just hit everything on. They hit the nail with the hammer, or whatever that saying is, man. But I just think that they did amazing. They're so low key about it. Nobody was really talking about them until the draft ended, and they're like, "Wow, like look at what the Ravens did." So, in my opinion, that's
good picks. Yeah, I like Linderbaum. I love how they went with the center, before everyone else. And Linderbaum, he's a stud, and they're saying that he's the best center of the draft. But I felt like it was kind of close, man. Me personally, I think it's just a personality thing. I kind of like Juergens. I felt like he was right there with Linderbaum as far as center wise, and you got to go with personality because I feel like that is excellent in the locker room. And then Juergens has his own beef jerky brand, so maybe you get sponsored. I don't know, pretty cool. But yeah, I definitely hated the fact that the Browns did not use their heads and they allowed the Baltimore Ravens, to get Ojabu, freaking stud, played out of University of Michigan, by the way, go blue. But he's going to do great things over there for the Baltimore Ravens, unfortunately. But yeah, I agree. They had a very good draft. Reed, I didn't hear what you had to say. Who do you think won the draft?
I said the Packers. It's the only team I actually studied, so
we can move on. I'm just kidding. Why did the Packers win this draft, Reed?
Because that's the team I said, because I honestly didn't study any other team. As I said when it was just the three of us before anybody else joined, the draft really doesn't matter, and grading the draft really doesn't matter. No one knows what they're talking about at the end of the day. First rounders don't end up panning out. Third, fourth rounders, fifth rounders, sixth rounders, and no one actually knows what they're actually going to do, end up becoming one of the best people in their position and later on in their careers. Everyone's talking out of their ass when they're talking.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
The reason, but I did like the Packers draft. I thought we hit positions that we needed help in, and also didn't draft too early in some positions. So happy with it. We'll see how it pans out. Usually our picks pan out. So
I, for one, I'm not with Reed. I do feel like the draft does matter. A lot of these young prospects.
Well, yeah, it matters that you're drafting them, but as far as like grading and saying who won it, it's like 3 days after the draft ended, 2 days. It doesn't matter. Like we don't know what we're talking about.
That's very true. I mean, we don't know exactly how their gameplay translates to the professional level, but I still think it's very exciting. And I love to compare the stats from when they get drafted to after their first year, because sometimes they're accurate, sometimes they're not. I mean, like you said, you just do not know. I mean, we do the same thing with the NFL before the season, especially in fantasy football when we draft players, right? Oh, dude, AJ Brown, he's going to kill it, man. He's going to have an amazing year. Then the year comes and it's nothing like the year before. Like the Niners. Oh, Brandon Ayuk is wide receiver 1. No, it's Deebo. We couldn't tell. Right now, it's clear as day that it's Deebo Samuel. So, go ahead.
Yeah, you know why I think we love the draft so much, AJ?
Why?
It's because we love fantasy so much and we love drafting our own team. You know why Reed doesn't like the draft?
Because he auto picks.
Because Reed sleeps through the whole thing. He sleeps through the whole thing.
Oh my god, I cannot wait for fantasy, you guys. And if you guys
Oh,
don't
me
know,
either.
NSP, we have our own fantasy channel. Once fantasy starts coming up, I'm already doing my research. Vince and I break it down week by week, right before the waiver wire, and we get you the best chance of winning your league. We did pretty well last year. So I
Beat
think it
both
was.
you guys.
What was
Hey,
that?
you lost, right,
Beat
Reed?
both you guys.
You auto
You
drafted?
lost you, right?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you, Reed.
Beat both, both leagues.
Super excited about the. Oh my gosh, my phone's talking to me. It's kind of weird. But yeah, guys, you guys play some fantasy football? That's the PI.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm in a dynasty league. I've been in dynasty league for a few years now. I kind of went in an interesting position when I started the fantasy dynasty because a few years ago I went the first 3 picks. I went wide receivers, but I did get the best of the best wide receivers at that time, and it hasn't paid off yet, but definitely I think they're still solid receivers.
Nice. And I'm glad Nestor commented because Nestor's actually our fantasy champion here. He was in our fantasy league and he won. He demolished in the championship game. I felt so bad. He just totally killed that game. Good job, Nestor. Appreciate you for being here once again. I know Israel plays a little bit of fantasy out there. He kills it. He kills it out there. I think he drafts the first one, Dak Prescott. Then the next one was Amari Cooper.
Negative.
And then the next one was
Negative.
CD.
Zeke first. Zeke
Nope.
first.
The only person I had in my draft was only Pollard. Everybody else was different.
Hey, Pollard was good, man. That's a good waiver wire pickup right there.
It was a
Yeah.
steal, but then that's because one of the guys that was with us just dropped him, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna get him, and since he's been doing good, so.
Yeah, we talked about him a lot in our fantasy show before he was, the hot pick. But I'm super excited there. And this draft affects everything, especially with these trades like Hollywood Brown going to the Cardinals, DeAndre Hopkins today getting suspended for 6 games just because he's all unnatural. He can't hit the weight room on his own, obviously. So maybe Marquise Brown could take a bigger role there for the first 6 games. AJ Brown going to
Baby.
to Philadelphia because everyone's real excited. Everyone's so hyped out of their mind. Oh, Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown. This is going to be a dynamic duo. Jalen Hurts couldn't pass the ball the first time. What makes you think he's going to pass it to AJ Brown? It's like me living here in Texas and I buy a snow shovel. Why am I going to buy a snow shovel? I can't use it. Why are you going to get an elite wide receiver like that? You can't use it. You can't throw the ball that far. Come on, man. He barely had a little over 3,000 passing yards.
Yeah, that's like Tua with Tyreek.
Come on, man. It's like Tua Tyreek. Hey, we actually got a big Tua guy here. Vince is a huge Tua guy.
I'm a
That's
huge
high
Tua guy, man. I'm a huge Tua guy.
Dude, I don't think Ian likes you, man, because he was
Hey,
saying
I
Russell Wilson's
know,
trash.
He
Now
doesn't,
they're
he
saying-
doesn't like my quarterback that we had and we shipped him out. He doesn't like Tua.
Oh my God, we were watching the PI podcast, right? Vince and I were out there live. We're questioning them, and Ian was like, straight up, dude, Russell Wilson's straight garbage, bro, like, hot garbage, and I supported him 100%. But there's also a couple of questionable calls you said there, Ian. I'm gonna call you out right here if you don't mind.
Okay.
But I was like, yeah, man, how could you not like Urban Meyer? He was grinding, right? And you said maybe Urban Meyer should have been grinding more in the locker room, and then you paused. I was a little bit sus there, man.
Dangerous game.
That was you were playing with fire, but that was pretty funny. That was a highlight. Nestor clipped that. Appreciate you guys being here. This is fun. Having a good time. Israel, what was your biggest takeaway from this draft?
What was that first pick? I'm sorry. It's just who's Walker? I don't know who that was. You know, the Jags, man, they had a chance to get Hutchinson, man. That guy is a beast at defensive end. You know, you can't get any better than that, and just to pass him up is just like, wow. It's just that I'm sorry, that's what surprised me. So
Hey, I'm with you. As a Jags fan, I'm with you.
Yeah, your reaction video just was kind of like priceless. It was like when a kid opens up a present and it's like a rock or something. You know?
I definitely am so glad I got his reaction to the Jags #1 pick because I had a really good feeling that the Jags would miss out on Aiden Hutchinson. So I'm so glad I got his reaction. It was hilarious right then and there.
I know,
It's only
Tesh, you
Jack
called it.
Sandberg
You
said.
called it too on your live stream too. You were like, "Oh, I can't wait to get his reaction because we're gonna see who they pick first." And I mean, y'all set
When
it
the
up
odds
perfect.
came out before the draft that Trayvon Walker was the one that was going to get the number 1 pick, I was like, "There's no way! Like, really, there's no way." Like, I know our GM's dumb, but he's not. He's not that.
And it turned out so. He was dumb.
Hey, we'll see. Maybe this guy's a total stud. I mean, he is a stud, but maybe he
I
just
hope
pans
so.
out for Jacksonville. That's Trayvon Walker, Israel. Put some respect on that name, okay? He's a champion, okay? Come on, man. Hey, Nestor, I see you here in the chats. How do you feel about – let's get the comment section involved here. How do you feel about Kenny Pickett getting picked for the Pittsburgh Steelers? That's the first quarterback off the board and until a 3rd round. How do you feel about that? And while he's taking his time answering that, if he does, guys, it's been such a long time. I said 1990. I guess that could be wrong since only one quarterback has been taken the first 2 rounds. I think that's pretty insane. This is was talked as if it was not a QB class, and the way it got drafted, it surely showed that way. So I was quite surprised. Did the Pittsburgh Steelers shoot the gun? Did they fire too quickly to get a QB, or you think it was needed for them to take that QB because if they didn't, someone else in the 2nd round would have?
I think the Steelers. I think they knew they wanted to get quarterback regardless of where they ended up being, and how early they took him. Because as soon as Kenny Pickett was taken, people were waiting for the other quarterbacks to be taken, and I actually really thought Seattle would have taken, at least in the 2nd round, taken Malik Willis by then, but they just kept falling and falling until Atlanta picked Desmond Ritter, and then the Titans traded up and they got Malik Willis, and then Panthers, they were just like, oh, we have to trade up now to get the other quarterback. So it kind of made sense for Pittsburgh at 20 to pick a quarterback, but it is weird that all these quarterbacks fell to the 3rd or 4th round.
Yeah, I guess I was really off. It was since 2013 that thank you, Reed, for letting me know here. That only one quarterback has gone within the first 2 rounds.
I'm trying to figure out who that quarterback was right now.
Let us know as soon as you find out. Nestor, the Steelers fan, says, I was really happy when they did. I guess he was really happy because Kyle Pitts gets to stay. Oh, sorry, Pickett gets to stay at home in Pittsburgh. Yeah. So literally, he's just going across the hallway to go to the next door and say, "Hey, I'm here. I'm ready to start balling out." Mr. Trubisky, I said, "I'm like, why would you get Mr. Trubisky? Why would you choose Carson Wentz over Jimmy G? Come on, man. That's horrible stuff right there." I'll say that all day long, all day, every day. But yeah, for those of y'all in the comments, let us know, what was your biggest takeaway from this draft? What were you most surprised about? Were you most surprised that, say, I keep throwing blanks here, man. The QB from North Carolina, Sam Howell.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Or Matt
yeah.
Corral. Sam Howell.
I can't believe Matt Corral went before Sam. I was quite surprised. I put them in the same, QB tier. But if we're talking about last year, if Sam would have entered the draft last year, he was projected, top 6, top 10 QB. He was going to get drafted in the 1st round to getting pushed all the way back and getting drafted by Washington. It was quite surprising to me.
I figured out who was that quarterback in the 1st round in 2013. It was EJ Manuel.
Oh,
EJ
wow.
Manuel.
So if that bodes well for the Steelers, it looks like it.
Jeez, what a legend.
Hey, Pickett. You can't see my hands here. Pickett or Mitch Trubisky?
Ooh.
Oh.
Mitch Trubisky's got the experience.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky's got the experience. Whether you want to say he's bad or good or just mediocre, he's got the experience that Pickett doesn't have. So maybe Pickett has a higher ceiling. We can probably say that. You can really just say that because this is going to be his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
You might find out that his ceiling is a lot lower. This guy might be complete trash. So the only time will tell. But right now, Mitch Trubisky has the edge over him because of experience in that alone.
I will add that for those of y'all out there, Pickett has average size hands, guys. Average. Stop making fun of his hands, okay? This is an average size of a hand. We got the same size hands, so I feel you,
but
Pickett.
the NFL isn't average people.
Hey, man, I don't know. You see Hunter Renfro out there. He looks pretty average to me. But that guy's extraordinary in every other aspect. So I guess you're right.
Oh my gosh.
I'll like to add to that. I also believe Mitchell Trubisky's got the edge. I personally think the Chicago Bears did absolutely nothing to help him. Matt Nagy didn't do anything to help him. Obviously, Allen Robinson, he was kind of like an up and down kind of player where you think he's got a ceiling way up here and he just doesn't perform like you think Allen Robinson should. Mitchell Trubisky, I think under Mike Tomlin's going to kind of blossom a little bit because Mike Tomlin knows what he's doing. He can look at what he did with Big Ben in his decline. I mean, they were still a winning record team, and now you have a more mobile, kind of better arm than Big Ben in his late years. So I really like Mitchell Trubisky. Plus, with Najee Harris taking off the pressure, an elite run game, a big target like Claypool and Pickens now, nice targets. And Pat Freiermuth is obviously a beast. I like Mitchell Trubisky this year. I really do.
Wow. Would you take him in fantasy?
Ooh, what was that?
So would you take him in fantasy?
Oh, hell no.
Last pick in the draft, maybe.
Yeah, bro. He's not even on the bench, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, I think he'll be pretty good with the Steelers. Mike Tomlin, he knows what he's doing out there. He'll adjust there. Last thing I want to talk about, still in the QB topic, is the Tennessee Titans taking Malik Willis. That's pretty cool. PI Podcast brought to my attention that it's very similar to the whole Jimmy G deal. It's what do? You had Ryan Tannehill. He finished first in their division. Go out to the playoffs. I know they lost, but they drafted a young QB, Malik Willis. They got Ryan Tannehill for one more year. What's going on here? They're just gonna, boot Tannehill after this year. In the middle of the year, Malik Willis outperforms him, and clear as day switch. Well, you're getting excited down there. I see you. You're getting excited. What's up?
I think that if you look at it, that playoff run, that playoff game, even that one playoff game that Tannehill had, he kind of forced a lot of picks, and that's why he threw 3 to 4 picks because he forced these balls. He didn't play like a QB should in the playoffs. And the Titans were always a sleeper team to get a quarterback just because of how Tannehill played. And Malik Willis is a developmental QB, and I think they're okay with letting Malik Willis sit a year behind Ryan Tannehill, and then they can develop him. And I like it. I like Malik Willis sitting behind Tannehill for a year. Even though Tannehill is declining a little bit, or even he made those 4 bad decisions in the playoffs, I think they have their future quarterback in Malik Willis. And the reason that they traded up is because they saw Tannehill, how bad he played, and it kind of forced the decision.
I also like that. So the biggest difference between the 49ers situation and the Titans situation is you only gave up a 3rd round for Malik Willis as the 49ers gave up their number 3 pick, right? So you're not in a rush to start the 3rd round quarterback, right? As you are your 1st round, because a 1st round guy's got to start. That's everybody's mentality with a 1st round quarterback. Malik Willis, 3rd round, you make him sit a year, 2 years even, it's not the end of the world. I'm not trying to throw shots if that's what
No, you want the smoke, I guess. It's Trey Lance, dude. It's Trey Lance right here. And Malik Willis is not even in the screen. He's down here, man.
But 1st round pick is still sitting the bench.
Oh, because he's developing, which I agree with Shanahan. Look what happened to Justin Fields. That guy just got
I agree.
dreamed.
I don't disagree with the development factor. I think a quarterback you see it so often. These 1st round picks go to a terrible team, and you look at Mac Jones. He made the playoffs his 1st year because he wasn't a very top 10 pick.
Yeah,
he had a roster, had a good coach. Rookie quarterbacks hardly ever get into a situation like that. Patrick Mahomes, for instance, he got to sit a whole year, and now look at him. He's regarded as one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now.
Robert stuff for 3 years.
Kind of like Trey Lance. 1 year after changing hands.
Okay.
What's going on?
Hopefully that happens because I really like, even though, so obviously as a Jaguar fans, I hate the Titans, I hate the Texans, I hate the Colts. But like as a football fan in general, like I don't want to see any of these guys suck when they come into the league. Like it's bad for football when you got teams like the Jaguars picking twice the number 1 overall pick 2 years in a row. That's terrible for football. Like you don't want to see that. Even if you're not a Jags fan, like you want the game to be competitive at all times. You don't want a Thursday night football with the Jaguars and the Jets playing. Like that's a boring game to watch. You want high competitive football at all times. Not to mention when I buy tickets to a game, I want to see a competitive football game.
No, so I got a good question after that then. So with all these quarterbacks that went super late because this wasn't a QB type draft or like a top heavy QB type draft, does that allow all these picks that got picked so late to flourish in the future in the NFL? Just because they're kind of not expected to go out and start, they're going to sit a year or 2 or maybe even 3, just like Rodgers did. And then we have the next guy who's going to win 4 MVPs in a row as a quarterback for their team.
Who are you asking? You're asking
anybody, man. Anybody can chip in.
Uh,
Do you think these QBs are going to flourish?
I will say that this draft, the Niners did get the best QB on the board. Of course, you guys already know I'm talking about Brock Purdy from Iowa State. He was the absolute last pick of the draft, and this is going to be a story that everyone's going to listen to for the rest of their life. It's going to be bigger than Tom Brady. Okay, for some reason, something does happen with Trey Lance. We got the best QB in the world right now, just from Iowa State. That's all I'm going to chip in.
It sounds like you're writing off Trey Lance.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like,
he has no
not what I'm
trust in
saying.
him.
Not what I'm saying. Because look at Joe Montana and then look at Young. Okay, vice versa right here.
What?
What? They're going to be the 2 of the best quarterbacks in ever. Just pay attention, okay? Remember that name, Brock Purdy.
Back to Vincent's question. Yeah, there's a chance that could happen, but it's not going to happen with all of them. Maybe one of them gets a chance. Their veteran quarterback ends up getting injured, and they get thrown in. It could happen, but don't be putting all your eggs in that basket.
Oh yeah, and I'm not saying like every single one. I'm just saying like they're gonna flourish in their roles because they're gonna sit behind whoever they were drafted with, like their team, their organization. Maybe. So like wherever they were drafted, all those teams are not gonna start them right away because they still have guys that they're paying a lot more money to start, and you don't want something to happen like how it did in Dallas when they had Dalton, and he was just on the bench making a ton of money, and. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. I think none of these guys will start. I think Desmond Ritter is going to be a great player, but he's not going to start anytime soon at all.
I know this. I know the smoke.
Now, in Desmond Ritter, Arthur Smith came out and said that either one of those quarterbacks could start. I think Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ritter is going to have a QB battle. And Mariota should win that battle because he's more experienced and he's a veteran. And I'm okay with Mariota playing and Desmond Ritter sitting because I'm definitely okay with Desmond Ritter being developed and sitting the whole year. I'm okay with that. And I think Marcus Mariota is good enough to lead us somewhere at least win 6 or 7 games.
I had one question about Desmond Ritter. I saw him say that I'm not leaving here until we win a Super Bowl, and he said like that's not like his only comment. He's made like a lot, like close to that. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's great confidence, or do you think it's overconfidence and it looks bad?
Honestly, I like the confidence that he has. As a quarterback, you have to believe that you're gonna reach your goals and reach your objectives as a quarterback. Even if you said I'm the best quarterback in the draft, I would have been okay with it because you got to have that mentality that you're the best or you're a top player. And that's the only way you can develop. That's the only way you can grow as a quarterback, to believe you're the best and believe that you can be the top player.
All right. He also looks like he's 40.
Yeah, he does. He really does. He really looks. He looks older than Matt Ryan right now.
Yeah, Matt
Oh,
Ryan.
But he's got speed. He's got speed. That's what I like. And we haven't had a speedy quarterback since Michael Vick. So
I know. Imagine.
I'm excited.
And then, there was some questions about his accuracy. We were talking about it yesterday, actually. He's got a 6'5" wide receiver, and Kyle Pitts, like he can literally throw the ball anywhere near him.
Yeah, and Drake London 6'5", and then one of the free agent receivers they got, Auden Tate, is 6'5" as well. So it doesn't matter about accuracy. He's got to throw it to his tall receivers.
Imagine the likelihood of having 3 corners tall enough to guard all 3 of those guys on your roster.
It's true.
This is true.
And
That's a
Cordell
good point
Patterson's
there.
not short either.
Cordero Patterson can moss people. Example, the Washington football team.
Is that a hot take right there?
Dang.
Well,
We like
he
Cordero
has.
Patterson.
Cordero Patterson did moss someone and moss a defensive back last year against Washington. Matt Ryan literally threw it up and he literally mossed the corner in the end zone.
Do you remember that one?
That's gonna be a hot fantasy pick right there, Daryl
Oh
Patterson.
yeah.
I like him a lot. Israel, you got anything, man? You're a little quiet over there, bro.
No,
You tired?
no. I'm not tired. It's just I'm hearing their inputs and everything. I feel like Ritter's going to be a day 1 starter. He's a winner.
Ooh.
He's a winner.
That's a bold
He's a winner.
prediction right there.
I feel like he's going to beat out Mariota. Yes, Mariota. They trusted in him to sign him, but I feel like Ritter's going to beat him. And he has the tight end. He has the receivers, and he has the running back. So I feel like he's going to be a day 1 starter. You want a winner, and that guy's a winner.
Vince knows I'm a Mariota guy. I've been preaching free Mariota since last year, man. And now he's finally free. I think he's going to put it all on the table. He's proven himself this year. I think he's going to do great things in Atlanta, hopefully. I think he has the potential to do so.
I really think Mariota's grown behind Derek Carr. I think that veteran leadership that Derek Carr has, I think that's grown with Mariota. And I think that's just really helpful. Was really helpful to him.
I hope so, and I hope to see it. I hope to see a lot of great teams succeed this upcoming season, like the Jets, like the Atlanta Falcons, like the Jacksonville Jaguars, not the Seattle Seahawks or the Cowboys, probably not the Packers, the San Francisco 49ers. But yeah, it's going to be a great season, guys. There's a lot of change. This draft was a lot of fun, a lot of big-time trades. Looking forward to see how all these young athletes translate into the professional league. Now, before we head out, do you guys have anything to say or anything to add before we check out for the day?
One thing I wanted to say, we talked about it at the beginning of the podcast. He said the Packers won the draft. I mean, you can't really. I kind of agree with him in a sense. You can't really grade these players without really even seeing them play in the NFL. But at the same time, I think Quay Walker. I think the Packers reached on that linebacker when they could have had 2 better linebackers in Nakobe Dean and Jacksonville Jaguars picked Devin Lloyd. And they wait on a receiver. They could have had a better receiver as well.
We needed a coverage linebacker. He's a great coverage linebacker. He hasn't allowed a touchdown on him in his entire time in college. That's what we needed. We needed a great tackler alongside Devondre Campbell, who's already a great tackler. So that's why we made the pick.
So as a Jaguar fan, I obviously hear a lot of other Jaguar fans, and a lot of them are really disappointed in the Devin Lloyd pick. One of the best linebackers in the draft. And the reason they're upset, obviously we signed Christian Kirk in the offseason, and then Zay Jones in the offseason, and we signed Marvin Jones last year. And then we've still got Laviska Shenault on the bench. So, everybody wanted us to get a big wide receiver. But any wide receiver after pick 18 would have been a huge reach. So I like that we went from 33. Once Linderbaum left, we moved up to get Devin Lloyd, and I think that was one of the best pickups we could have done because now our defensive linebacker group is Alua Khan, who led the NFL in tackles last year. We've got Devin Lloyd, and then we got Muma.
I like the Jaguars draft. I liked it a lot.
I'm hoping our defense can help Trevor.
Yeah.
I hope so too, man. I want to see Trevor ball out. That guy needs to ball out. And that's what we wanted to see last year. And I know you got a horrible head coach, kicking kickers or whatever.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
we want to see Trevor Lawrence ball out. Okay, I know I do. And I think it would just be great, not just for the Jaguars organization, but it'll be great for London, it'll be great for the NFL as a whole. So looking forward to that. Hopefully they do protect him. But thank you guys so much for being here. Israel, thank you for being a guest once again. PI Podcast,
Sure.
thank you all so much for being here. Like I said, you guys, once they hit 100 subscribers, they're doing a huge giveaway. It's an autographed miniature Jaguars helmet. PI Podcast, you guys want to tell everyone? There it is. That looks sick right there. You got the old logo going on. How about you tell
That's
everyone
nice.
where they can find you, huh?
We definitely are on YouTube at PI Podcast. We're on TikTok at PI Podcast, and we're on Twitter at PI Podcast. And now on Instagram at PI Podcast. There's definitely post a lot on each, and we go live on YouTube every Sunday and Wednesday as right now, and we're about to change the schedule a little bit. So definitely we go live on our YouTube.
Nice. Just like Urban Meyer, these guys are grinders, you guys. Just like us. We work all the time. They work all the time. We get this stuff done just for you guys. We appreciate every single one of y'all being here. Thank you all so much. And until next time, you guys, keep on grinding. That's my thing, Reed. Don't do that. Oh, my gosh. Ian, no.